Hi, everyone. This is Jules. I hope everybody is doing great. So, I was snooping around on the internet and I found a Reddit thread in which somebody is just talking about their success stories with the Gallery of Magic. So, I thought I will go ahead and read them. I will keep their identity anonymous just because I haven't talked to them. I don't have their permission to do this. I'm just reading their experience with the Gallery of Magic. So I was also thinking if you guys are interested in sharing your success stories, I will leave my email account below. If you want to email me, I'll be glad to read those for you. So this one was posted 3 years ago, and it says, My journey with the Gallery of Magic so far. And it says, I have repeatedly described myself as a Gallery of Magic fanboy. A couple of people, literally two, have asked me privately for more detailed comments. I decided to write this up so that I don't have to rewrite these things when I feel the urge to share. The first book I read from the Gallery of Magic was Masterworks of Chaos Magic. It's tiny, like many of their other books. I remember being struck by one particular idea. Mr. Blackthorne suggests stating intentions as questions. This was a big deal for me. This was a big deal to me for personal reasons. Be that as it may. I didn't actually try out this technique. I will, though. The next Gallery of Magic book I looked at was Sigils of Power and Transformation, also by Adam Blackthorne. I tried a couple of them, but I just didn't feel they were effective. I actually threw them away. Even now, I have every other book in the series on Kindle, but not that one. Almost a year later, I tried out 72 Sigils of Power by Zaina Blaze. For the first time in many years, I was surprised by how quickly something worked. I did more spells from that book, and they were more effective than anything I had tried to date. I have been an active occultist since 1995, and this was in 2020. I experienced relationship assistance, work aid, and mood control. Some of the results were quite objective, such as casting a spell and having an unexpected call 5 minutes later. They had my attention. The next book I tried was Angels of Alchemy by Damon Brand. This was my first exposure to him. The spells were good, but I didn't notice strong immediate effects, except for the angel Tophiel, who ended my child night terrors immediately. Thank you, Tophiel. I was still using the names of the Shemham Mephoresh from the 72 Sigils of Power, and they continued to be effective. So I was looking for the next step, so to speak. This is a little bit of a departure from the theme of this book because I started practicing the technique described in the Angelic Sigils, Keys and Calls by Ben Woodcroft. Many people mention his work alongside the Gallery of Magic because the technique is so similar. This book was strikingly effective. I did a spell with Gabriel that dramatically impacted my work. If the Gallery of Magic interests you, read Woodcroft also. I consider this an inflection point in my life. Before this, I thought magic worked sometimes, but not most of the time. Now I think a good magician get some results most of the time, and amazing results some of the time. I started looking for reasons to cast spells. I had been doing LBRP and working with BOTA for years. But this was where I started including magic in how I deal with most of the major issues in my life. Make your mundane plans, family. Never forget real work in the real world. Also, magic all the things. So pretty much he's just using magic everywhere. Next up was Success Magick by Damon Brand. Success Magick is based on Enochian, but has little in common with any other Enochian practices or resources I am familiar with. Neither does it say anything about Enochian theory. It involves a short daily ritual for 49 days. I did it every day. Some days I technically missed because I did it after midnight, but I got it in before I went to sleep for the night. I credit Success Magick with improving every aspect of my life. I mean, sure, I still have problems. Some of them are big. That being said, by the time I finished the full series of rituals, I had a new house. Good for you. A better job, less debt, a happier marriage, and greater maturity, according to my queen. My magic was also getting stronger. Praise. Good. Before I finished Success Magick, I did a ritual from the 72 Angels of Magic, also by Damon Brand. Whereas 72 Sigils of Power works with the names of the Shemham Mephresh. 72 Angels of Magic deals with the corresponding angels. It uses an 11-day ritual that always starts on a Thursday. At this point, I've probably done more than 6, but fewer than 10. They are powerful. They are not necessarily gentle. They might turn your life upside down. I feel that they have turned my life upside down. I wonder why. My narrative breaks down a bit here because I don't remember the precise details. I've used Angels of Love by Zena Blaze, Angels of Wrath by Gordon Winterfield, and Words of Power by Damon Brand. I feel that these have good effects, but I don't feel I can objectively be certain of that claim. A few months ago, I began cycling through the first 7 rituals of Mystical Words of Power by Damon Brand. They are intended to be repeated for as long as they feel effective, providing a kind of evolutionary roadmap. My wife has also taken up this practice, though we do it separately. She has also done several of the rituals from part 2, but I'm not sure how effective they have been. We both agree that part 1 is fantastic, but they are fundamentally subjective. I have also incorporated some of the ideas from Magical Destiny, again by Brand, into my daily routine. It has inspired me towards seeking full conversations with and knowledge of my holy guardian angel, but at a gentle pace. This will take time, but I'm not in a rush. The last book from Gallery of Magick I will discuss is Magical Servitors by Damon Brand. This is an excellent addition to the body of literature on servitors. There are so many good books on this topic, and this one stands up well to any of them. I learned a lot. I felt inspired. I set out to create the most advanced servitor I had ever created. I based much of the construction process on Brand's technique, but my final procedure was very different. Take that for what you will. My servitor is objectively one of the most powerful workings I have ever done. It has exceeded all my expectations. I was on a project I didn't like. The entire project imploded in a more dramatic fashion than I have ever seen in 25 years as a software developer. I have been selected as the develop- development lead for the proof of concept replacement. I know my work was more powerful thanks to brand, but I have been working with the servitor since 1996, so I have quite a bit of experience. I would definitely recommend magical servitors to either a beginning or an expert. So that is his post. Following the post, there are some replies, so I will go ahead and go through them. Um, the first reply says, I know I'm late. I know I'm late to this, but thank you so much for sharing. It's been absolutely crazy how fast their stuff works. I won't go into details, but I got what I wanted 2 days after the ritual. Then he replies back to this person, Hi, it absolutely is. I had given up on having a life full of vibrant magic. That is what I've always wanted. But I just wasn't seeing it despite decades of practice. Then I found Gallery of Magick. Now I know that magic can fill my life because it does. Then someone else replied, Mr. Blackthorne suggests stating intentions as a question. Fascinating idea. This alone would make the read worthwhile, I think. You mentioned that you didn't try out this technique. Does that include the one you mentioned? Thanks for sharing. It does include the technique, but for no good reason. It's hard to break from what you know. At the time, I was very involved in a sigil heavy practice, so I have no excuse. You have convinced me. I'm going to try it next time I need a sigil. Masterworks of Chaos Magic reminded me of Chaos Ritual by Steve Wilson. Both of them have an example grimoire in the back that will blow your mind a little bit. Another reply. Great post. Thank you so much for sharing. My pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to read. Okay, so this is from himself again. A point of clarification. I mentioned that I don't know how effective the rituals my wife has done from part 2 of Mystical Words of Power. This is more of a comment about me, not remembering details of which ones she has done. We have also not discussed specific results. We have 4 kids, so we have a lot of other things to talk about. I do know that she did one this morning and got a good objective result shortly thereafter, but I had not heard that when I made this post. I also know that she is happy with the technique and intention and intends to continue using it. Someone replied, You said Angels of Magic could turn your life upside down. In what way might it turn your life upside down? I also had that question, but let's see what he says. Maybe you decide you want a better job. You go to the angels. A couple of days later, you lose your job unexpectedly. Shortly after, you make a surprising connection and get a better job you wanted. But you have to move and you have to be more focused. And every other thing in your life has to change. But then you look up one day and realize your life is better than before, especially in the way you wanted it to be. Maybe your kid starts acting with a tantrum. So you go to the angels. And then you finally find out what happened to your kid and it crushes you, but your kid turns to you. Those are some examples of how it could happen. Neither of these things are what happened to me, and I pray I don't face them. I don't want to discuss the details on how my life turned upside down in this forum. And that kind of disruption is best handled head on and with courageous effort. Someone else is replying, do you recommend one of their books that still gives good results, but in a, I guess they mean malevolent and less disruptive way? Then he answers, Angels of Alchemy and Mystical Words of Power. Okay. Another reply. Wow, thank you for this. I have stumbled upon these books just over the past couple of days, and I'm really interested in them. They're not the typical spell books, which I found strange. So I guess I have been overthinking using them. But seeing that they have such great effects has interested. I think I will give them a try. I've ordered Angels of Love for help in my relationship, so fingers crossed, I will have success. Then another reply. I don't see a thing wrong about protecting energetic balance with a spell, especially with piracy being so rampant. People should want to pay for what they're getting, just my opinion. I don't know where that comment came from, but okay. Another comment. Oh, wow. You've been to this post recently. Have you noticed this? I feel like you kind of alluded to it. So, I've attempted a ritual with the angel who can take away mental torture as defined in the book. For me, once I started it, I've never been more mentally anxious with ruminations, lol. So, with whatever you're seeking, do your experience it times 10 first, and then dissipates, hopefully. Same working a ritual for chronic pain. Next morning, I woke up with a little by the days passing. Well, this message is really hard to read, but what he's saying is that before it gets better, it gets worse, pretty much is what I'm getting. Okay. Then he replies and he says, while I have experienced what you described, I haven't noticed a set pattern. Sounds like it's working though, since you're experiencing some change. It's always a bit of mystery at first, where changes can lead to the results you were looking for. And sometimes you really need to process something, and the angel helps you get through it all faster. Thank you for responding so fast. Okay. Um, Again from him, a word of caution. The Gallery of Magick is well known for placing a curse upon their books against those who use them without paying for them. I believe it is reasonable to grab a free copy for evaluation, but I recommend you buy a copy before putting anything into practice. Full disclosure, that is exactly what I did. I downloaded 72 sigils of power and read it before I paid to use it. Okay. Another reply. Thank you for sharing. I feel similarly. The Gallery of Magic Spells and Rituals by Damon Brand work especially have had a major impact on my life. I don't feel swayed by people who doubt or show pessimism about the Gallery of Magic body of work, and I have seen that there are quite a few. I just look at the evidence that exists in my life of some major chronic problems finally solved and personal growth received after spells are cast, and that is good enough proof for me. Okay. Totally agree. I just got the 72 Angels book. Can you share any of your experience with Angel Poel? Then he replies, I don't think I have worked with that one. I looked through my notes to confirm. Thanks for replying. I started the ritual Thursday last week using the 72 Angels of Magic book, and on Monday I felt strange while doing ritual and felt goosebumps all over my body, as if something unusual happened, which is hard to explain. I kept feeling it even after completing the ritual. I really need her help. Hope she's listening. Hail, Angel Poel. And then someone said, can you formulate on your method for using the 72 sigils of power? And then he says, I follow the instructions as given. I generally open with the LBRP. Okay. And that's the end of that. So, um, especially he's talking about the servitors that worked really good for him. I tried the servitors once and I didn't have much success with it. So maybe I just have to give it a try again. And then I haven't tried the 72 sigils of power yet. But I do have both of those books, so maybe I should give it a try. So that is this thread on his success. And apparently, he is someone who's had experience since 1995, 96. So, like he says, especially when it comes to Damon Brandt's books, they seem to work much better than the other ones. So I'm not sure if that is what I got from this read. So that is this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and it helps. And like I said, if you have any success stories, I will leave my email below. Just email them to me and I will read them for you. Okay. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.